Well, as we were discussing throughout this conversation, sometimes we find ourselves in alert mode, and when you're in alert mode, you're in survival mode. Survival means getting through each day, dealing with children, work, money, health, or whatever life throws at you. It becomes very challenging to connect with yourself in that state. We've talked about ways to disconnect from this alert mode and connect with the parasympathetic system throughout the day. However, it's absolutely necessary to do so. But in life, there are also times when we need to take a pause, a weekend, a week, or even 15 days, where we quote-unquote withdraw from the hustle and bustle of daily life. This allows us to ask ourselves, what do I want to achieve in this life? What is my purpose? What is my ikigai? What are the answers to life's big questions? Do I have them, or do they trouble me? In those moments, I need to see myself from a perspective, in 3D, 4D, 5D, and figure out where I'm headed and strive to bring out the best in me, what I often refer to as your best version. I have a mathematical equation for this, though it seems that mathematics are rarely useful in psychology and psychiatry, but I like this equation because it can help us understand. Your best version is a sum of your knowledge, what you learn, what you study, what you know, plus your life project, meaning having goals in life, knowing where you're heading, plus your willpower, that is, your prefrontal cortex, the ability to delay gratification, and maintaining order. Knowledge plus life project plus willpower, all multiplied by passion. Passion multiplies, while the rest adds up. What is passion? Passion is putting your heart into what you do. The world is full of people who lack passion in their lives. The world is full of people who don't put their hearts into what they do. Every job can transform people's lives and your own. So, the best version involves realizing that whether you're a doctor, a journalist, a homemaker, or whatever your occupation, you have the opportunity to transform yourself and others if you use your heart. But for that, you need to, at some point, pause, reflect on your life, reflect on what you know, reflect on your goals, reflect on that willpower, order, and perseverance. Put everything into perspective, and it becomes much easier to bring out your best version. We are living in a time in history where there seems to be an obsession with happiness, as if there are easy shortcuts. Enjoy this, and you'll achieve happiness quickly. But happiness is not that simple. Happiness depends on the meaning each of us assigns to our life. But what happens? In a society that has lost its sense, in a society that has often lost its direction, we've replaced the meaning of life with sensations. These sensations can be massages, food, alcohol, social media. Not everything has to be bad, but it becomes self-destructive when it replaces the true meaning of life. More and more research is being conducted on this sense of life. The Japanese call it ikigai, and nowadays, it's known that when you have that ikigai, that sense you give to things, you can have better physical and psychological health, even improving cardiovascular markers, and it also enhances happiness. Each of us, everyone listening, you and I, Melania, we are all fighting battles in some aspect of our lives. We are constantly suffering about something, an economic issue, a health concern, a family matter, a professional challenge. There's always something that worries us, and these battles define us. How we deal with these battles will define what we call happiness, because happiness is about connecting with the good things that happen every day, and managing the bad things, those battles, as effectively as possible. There's a nuance with fulfillment. Fulfillment is a state where I feel my needs are met, and I want nothing more. So, one can be going through a lot but still be happy in that moment because they know how to connect with the small and good things that happen every day. In other words, happiness lies in connecting with the small things that arise in everyday life. The best antidote to suffering and pain is love. It's about feeling loved, feeling that you're not alone. That sense of involuntary loneliness, that unwanted solitude, is a terrible feeling for the psyche, the mind, and the heart. That's why, on many occasions, when you are alone, having someone, a vitamin person, someone who supports you, someone who listens to you, doesn't judge you, understands you, and talking to them automatically makes you feel better. It doesn't matter if you haven't seen them in a year, you know that with that person, things are much simpler. It's that simplicity in human relationships that we all long for. Who do we love? Well, firstly, it's self-love. That's self-esteem. Loving oneself in a healthy way. Not loving oneself excessively, as that leads to narcissism, nor loving oneself too little, as it fosters destructive feelings of insecurity in the human mind. This has a lot to do with the inner voice. Each of us has an inner voice that determines how our self-esteem will be and how we will treat ourselves. Secondly, there's the love of a partner. Love for a partner makes us brave. Plato once said, "There is no one so cowardly that love cannot transform them into someone brave." I'm sure we all know someone who suddenly falls in love and transforms, becoming unafraid and willing to take risks they would never have taken before. Partner love is incredible. When you feel loved, that sense of trust. It even improves the immune system, as we know today. You have better physical and psychological health. The third is love for others, cooperation, solidarity, love for your parents, friends, siblings, even people at work. When you are in harmony with the people around you, you are able to mitigate the effects that stress can have on you. If you live with anxiety or worry about something, such as a financial issue, but you feel loved, the stress it causes is much less. Then we have love for beliefs and ideals. As Ortega y Gasset said, ideas are possessed, beliefs are lived. When you believe in something and love your beliefs, you have strength, you have fortitude, and you can overcome almost anything. Finally, there's love for memories. Perhaps of all the loves, this one seems the most unique, and that's why I always enjoy talking about it. A few years ago, Susumu Tonegawa, a Nobel Prize winner in medicine, discovered that when a person remembers something intensely, the memory of that pleasant image activates the same mechanisms in the brain as when it originally happened. This is magical. When someone is distressed, there are many relaxation techniques for this. When working with EMDR or techniques that help improve states of distress, bringing to mind pleasant images, memories of moments with love, where you felt loved and grateful, suddenly produces biochemical effects in the body. Therefore, when that love floods our mind and our body, it also helps us become better with others, to become people who don't judge, who empathize, who are affectionate, who seek common interests. I often tell people to seek common interests with others, to ask others how they feel, and when they've asked how someone feels, to remember those details, because I learned this from my father. My father remembers everything, and he keeps everyone's phone numbers in his phone's contacts, but next to each entry, he writes things like, his father has arthritis, his wife has Alzheimer's, his son had a school setback. So, when he ever calls someone, he always looks for that common ground. Today, we are so caught up in our worries and thoughts that we find it difficult to pay attention to the concerns of others. Therefore, love, indeed, Melania. I believe we all know it, but love is one of the best antidotes to tough times.